Good morning, everybody. So our group is going to talk about the science in Rick and Morty and the philosophy that ties it all together. So I'll kick it off to Juan, who will start us off with cloning.
Thank you, Nanda. So Rick and Morty is a show where basically Rick and Morty go through two different adventures throughout the show. Rick is a really smart scientist. He's a really smart scientist that he doesn't really care about humans' life because he has the ability to clone. Cloning is the process of producing genetically identical individuals of an organism, either artificially or naturally. As we can see here, we have a picture of two lambs. This is an example of how cloning is made in real life. So we have two donors. One donor, they take out the cell from the first donor, and they take out an egg from the second donor. Once they take out the cell and the egg from the donors, they start to fuse they start to fuse the egg and the cell, where we can have here to the cell and the egg fuse. The egg and the cell breaks into parts and divides and becomes the embryo. We have the embryo right here. They put the embryo inside the uterus of the lamb, of the female lamb, and this is basically like the foster mother. The embryo processes through the lamb, and we have the result of the clone lamb. On the left side, we have an example of Rick and Morty, of the show, of the episode season 2, episode 9, where basically Beth, Rick's mom, she wants to go to an adventure, take some time for herself, and she goes back to the land that Rick had created her when she was a kid. The name of the land was Fruity Land. As she goes back in the land, she finds her friend Tommy, her childhood friend Tommy, that had gone with her to the land. In reality, Tommy never came back. They don't really know what happened to him. They thought that his dad killed him. His dad was in prison facing a death penalty. As she was in the Fruity Land, she found out that Tommy had been living there for the time that he was living there for a while because he was trapped. He didn't know how to go back. As the time passed, he ended up just creating his life in the land. She tries to go back. She tries to bring him back to reality because everybody thought that he was dead in real life. And he didn't want to go back. They ended up fighting. She ends up killing Tommy. She brings the DNA of Tommy and tells Rick to clone Tommy so they can bring him to real life. And Rick asks Beth to do all the process with him, and we have here Tommy being cloned. So this ties into the Rick and Morty philosophy because Rick doesn't really care what he destroys or kills in every adventure because he basically has the power to clone anything he destroys. So now we have Dunda. Can you tell us about the portal gun?
Yes, I can. Okay, so we just learned a little bit about cloning, how it influences the show of Rick and Morty in general. But why is cloning such a prevalent idea in Rick and Morty? Well, it has something to do with this little handy-dandy tool that Rick has, the portal gun. Now, the portal gun. Who here knows what the portal gun is? At first of all, Nobody knows. Okay, that's a great start. Okay, so for all you people that are slightly uncultured, I guess, but I'll explain what the portal gun is. The portal gun is a device that shoots a portal that connects one point to another, kind of like a wormhole, but different sides. Now, in Rick and Morty itself, there's two types of portals that they have: the blue portal and the green portal. Can we get the next slide, please? Yeah, perfect. The blue portal and the green portal. Now, there's two very, very big differences between each. I'll explain the blue portal first. The blue portal is what you call an intergalactic portal. So it connects 2 points in your universe. So it's limited to your universe. Not very cool. Green portal is the green portal is the interdimensional portal. Now that portal actually is the one that Rick uses throughout the show, which connects his universe with any other universe he wants to. It's a one-of-a-kind portal gun that he has made himself. Now, why is it special? Because, like I said, it's a gun that he made himself. He created the formula, got the core, which I don't know what the core is, and he made the device himself. Now, why is that important? Well, as you know, he can travel to multiple universes. Now, first of all, that makes for a great adventure. Secondly, he can bring the knowledge from other universes back with him at any time he wants to, which increases his power, his knowledge, because something that his universe doesn't have, cool, he can go off to another universe, find that information there, bring it back. Now all of a sudden he's got this new advanced knowledge that nobody in his own universe even has yet. But moving on from that a little bit, how does the portal gun work? Well, that's a deep dive into general relativity, quantum mechanics, quantum teleportation, dark matter. Not going to happen. I don't want to explain any of that. So we'll move on from that one. But a fun fact I can give you is back in 1998, the California Institute of Technology actually did teleport a photon about 3 feet. I don't know how long that is. Like about 3 feet. I mean, that doesn't sound very cool, teleporting a photon 3 feet, but that was 20 years ago. Think about what kind of stuff, let's just call it, they've been doing for those last 20 years. They could have been teleporting pigs like 3 feet now, who knows. But tying this all together, why is this important? Well, with this portal gun, Rick understands there are multiple universes, multiple infinite universes and he's not special in any case, because there are other Ricks out there as smart as he is, that has the technology that he has. And to explain this further, I'll tie it off to Anna with her chaos theory.
So the chaos theory is part of mathematics. So like you said, I don't really want to talk about it because it's too much. But basically, it's very small change. It's very small change that make the system change their behaviors like very differently. So like very small changes in the starting position of a system makes a big difference. So it ties into the butterfly effect, because something so small that happens, like as time goes on, it will drastically change into something like a hurricane. So if, for example, like if a butterfly were to flap its wings in New Mexico, then there would be a huge hurricane in China over time. Like something so small, everything matters. And in the Rick and Morty episode of A Rick on Time, they started off with one timeline, and every time they did something, they created more timelines. And like just like a small thing they did, it created 2 timelines, and then the more that they kept going, it just kept going to one. There was like 96, I believe, timelines. So the point of it is that everything matters, and like something so small as a butterfly going to creating a hurricane. So Bob, can you tell me a little bit more, please?
Oh yeah. So check this out. All right. So who knows about Schrodinger's cat? I assume everybody does, right? All right. So Schrodinger's cat, and like I'll let you know if you guys don't know. So Schrodinger's cat. All right. So Schrodinger's cat is a thought experiment devised by Erwin Schrödinger, where a cat is trapped in a box with a sort of a complex trap that may or may not kill the cat. So we don't know whether the cat is dead or alive or not until we open the box. This alludes to a quantum mechanical concept called a quantum superposition. And so in this quantum superposition, it is thought of that the cat is both dead and alive at the same time. And it won't resolve until we open the box and observe whether the cat is dead or alive or not. One interpretation for the for the mechanics behind the quantum superposition is that the many worlds interpretation. So in the many worlds interpretation devised by Hugh Everett, when that box is in this quantum superposition, when the cat is both dead and alive at the same time, the worlds resolve when you open the box, and it splits into two, where the cat is dead, where the cat is alive. So in that sense, let me see. I think I missed something there. So in that sense, let's apply that. Let's apply that more generally. So for example, I'm holding my hand behind my head. I'm holding my hands behind my back. What am I holding? Sure. I mean, like, sorry. Like, what? How many fingers am I holding? Let's say that.
3.
Let's say 3. Sure, whatever. Let's say 3. In some universe, in a different timeline, I could have been holding up 2 fingers. I could have been holding up 1 finger. And understandably, that this example was inconsequential. However, like, let's apply that to even more general. Like, for example, I decide to not come to Europe. I drop out. That created a different universe. That decision to not come to school that one day created a universe where I dropped out of Europe. And there's also the universe where I didn't drop out, and I finished the program. So let's relate it back to Rick. So imagine a tree imagine a tree that spreads infinitely and reaches infinitely. Think about that. Every single perspective, every single person is just a tiny speck. All your hopes, all your dreams, everything that they are is just one tiny speck on this tree. So I guess like the question is like for Rick. This tree represents like all time. It represents everything that has happened and will happen. So for Rick, what does for a a dimension traveling like mad scientist, like what meaning does life have for when he realizes that all possibilities can happen and all possibilities will happen? So what does an individual do? What does an individual what does the actions of an individual even mean? And so Rick obviously thinks that life has no meaning, so he spends his days entertaining his base instincts. Let's pass it on to Tadeu.
So you guys just learned a lot. Cloning, that's really right. Cloning, chaos theory, the multiple universes. I even talked a little bit about the portal gun, that's pretty small compared to everything else we've talked about so far. But let's tie this all together. What the overall philosophy here is that Rick, no matter how depressing this sounds, Rick understands that a meaning of a single human life, it's super small compared to the universe, because everything that can happen has already happened. Everything that he hasn't done has happened somewhere else also. So it's like his life has no meaning, but he still lives it to its fullest by going on adventures with Morty, going on adventures with his daughter. Every once in a while, maybe he takes Jerry. Who knows? He's doing his own thing sometimes. But yeah, so like everything life doesn't have as much of a meaning, but he still lives it to its fullest in some way. Thank you. Any questions? Oh, one is.
Can you tell me the difference again between the blue and the green portals?
Oh yeah, sure. So the blue portal is the intergalactic portal. So the blue portal you can only use to travel between in your own universe. But the green portal, the one that Rick uses, you can you can use it to travel to any other universe that you want. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anybody else? You good?
Yes.